I am joined now by Jason Lee. Jason is a friend of Drake's. He also worked for P. Diddy and Kanye West. He was on the hit reality show Love and Hip Hop, and he's landed some of the biggest interviews in hip hop on his podcast, Hollywood Unlocked. He's also running to be a city council member in Stockton, California. Super great to have you here, Jason. Thank you for being on the show, because I feel like one of those anchors on the SNL skit, what was it, Good Morning Greenville? Like, I just feel like I'm out of my element here. So help me understand. Rap to me has always been the bad boys going after each other, but has this really gone off the rails?
Yeah, let me just do a quick reset. Drake and I have known him before he became the megastar that he is, and I had a show on Diddy's network, but we're not friends and I'm not there anymore. But let me just say this. This is great. What we're watching with Kendrick and Drake is great for hip hop. I think hip hop is built on being able to trade lyrics that may take jabs. Sometimes it goes lower below the belt than it should, but I've been excited to watch this a treasure chest of rap lyrics shot back and forth between the two, no pun intended. I think that Drake is one of the most phenomenal rappers in history, and Kendrick Lamar will go down as probably the best, if not the best of this generation. So I don't see it as a continuation of exchanges and songs. You know, I don't know where Drake is in the world or Kendrick, but I don't think that Kendrick got on the jet, flew to Canada to shoot Drake.
Well, I don't know that anybody, thinks that, but there is this ripple effect, right? Somebody did something that now takes it out of the entertaining, silo, and now it takes it into the criminal arena, and that's where I'm concerned. Look, people are sad that Biggie and Tupac are both gone, and it was because of warring. Is that where this is headed, or am I sort of out of my element?
No, I think you're doing a great job. I just want to add a different lens. I'm running for city council because me and my family live in a community where I've been shot. My brother was murdered here, and I understand that crime and being victims or survivors of violent crimes is a real thing. That's why I'm dealing with real issues, right? But I lived through the Tupac and Biggie war and the West Coast, East Coast thing. That was fueled by media that made a thing that started out in music, turned into something that led to violence, that turned into something that where now we are, we're talking about them post both of them being murdered. I think that sometimes music and rap beefs or rap lyrics or rap songs that are fueled by this back and forth creativity, which I would say is art, sometimes takes on a life of its own where people in the community who are fans of different people jump in it and try to take it on for themselves. So, I don't know that, and I haven't heard anybody claim that the shooting in Canada was in direct relation to this back and forth trade of songs. And I just want to be responsible in making sure that we're not fueling flames that gaslight people to get involved in something that is on music now and in music, and then turns into something where people really get.
That's what I keep thinking. Look, in music, I think it's great. People throw shade. They do all these things. It may be hyped up. It may not. I don't know. I'm going to ask you about that in a minute, because I always smell a rat when there's money involved. But I do think that, Kendrick posted an image of this home and like almost directions how to get there, as though he's a sex offender, like the sex offender registry sort of thing. And that's where I started to wonder, where is the line between bad boys throwing shade and bad boys doing something that may have led to a very innocent man fighting for his life in the hospital? And thank God he's alive. Thank God he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I saw the artwork. I have to tell you, I posted a video on my Instagram story yesterday in one of my homes, dancing hysterically to that song that cover art is a part of, because Kendrick Lamar has reignited West Coast rap to the extent that everybody on the East Coast is talking about. I mean, I think it is what fuels hip hop. And all of these people that we're talking about are some of the best storytellers that our culture has ever seen. And so, yeah, I think, again, sometimes fans of different people, and of course with social media now, people around the world are listening to this and living it in real time. And, I'm not, but I still don't know enough to know that the shooting was directly related. And I think it would be reckless for people to just assume a song came out today, a shooting happened tomorrow. People are getting shot all over the world every day. We watch that. You guys report on it. So I don't think that the culture of hip hop should be marred in, the trajectory of some other rap battles that have happened. We saw Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj have a historic moment where Remy put out Sheether and used a cut up body of Nicki Minaj. It doesn't mean she wants her to get cut up or get hurt, but it's the artwork that illustrates the musical art. And I think that Kendrick in that song specifically was a genius.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.